Welcome to ESGN TV. Coming up tonight, we take a moment to celebrate Dota 2's fantastic year in 2013. We talk about some tournaments like D2L, Red Bull ECL, Star Ladder, and much more. And Statsman Bruno from the Good Studio stops by to give his thoughts on the year. It's time for the Daily News. Hello once again from Studio 1 in Babelsberg. Dan Cho reporting in for another day of exciting news in the esports industry. As a reminder, for the week we'll be spending each day covering a game in depth, today being Dota 2. Now today is January 8th, and on this day in history, MC won Home Story Cup 4 and gave us some of the antics we know and love from the boss toss. Also, kind of related, maybe his distant cousin, Elvis got his first ever guitar and set the world ablaze with his hips and music. Starting off the show, we want to begin with some of the feel-good news. With 2013 in the books, writers and fans came together for the yearly awards. PC Gamer magazine selected Dota 2 as the eSport title of the year. And since its full release in July 18, 2013, Dota 2 has received raving reviews, with the lowest at barely below 90%. While PC Gamer has high praise for Valve's Dota sequel, On Gamers also chose Dota 2 as its eSport of the year. Unsurprisingly, the International 3 and the Compendium also have netted awards for Valve as the best event and the best innovation to esports. Couldn't agree more. There are also several award categories we haven't mentioned, such as Team of the Year and Player of the Year. You can find all the full list for On Gamers at ongamers.com. Gosu Gamers also released their yearly awards for Dota 2 and other titles as well, one from the GG team and one for the fan vote. Give it a view at gosugamers.net. Now, Dota 2 is flourishing beautifully with its new release, and the pro scene is at an all-time peak. There are amazing high-level competitions happening every single day. Yesterday was the beginning of the HyperX D2L finals in Las Vegas. The season began all the way back October of last year, and today the finals will determine who will win the title and $25,000. However, one of the four finalists, two players couldn't attend. Era and Hani from Fnatic couldn't attend last secondly, and so Demon from MVP and AUI 2000 from Speed has subbed in. Fnatic struggled against LGD in their first match. LGD was almost replaced by TL due to travel issues, but managed to make it out. And over in the other side of the bracket, Alliance was dropped to VC. Fnatic awaits the verdict of what's going to happen in the winners bracket matches, as they did defeat Alliance in the losers bracket. Now, D2L is going on right now, so why not pull up a second tab or monitor to check out the games, twitch.tv/D2L. You can catch all that great Dota 2 action. With all of their involvement in the StarCraft 2 scene, it was only a matter of time before Red Bull would put their brand behind a large Dota 2 tournament. Just a day and a half ago, the Red Bull ECL finals wrapped up with what seems to be the iconic matchup of 2014, Invictus Gaming versus DK. Our partner in China, GameFi, was watching closely to report in on the action.
Revenge. In the Red Bull ECL Dota 2 final, Invictus Gaming championing over DK. Yesterday, the Red Bull Esports Champion League concluded with Invictus Gaming defeating Team DK by a score of 2-0. IG reached sweet revenge against the team who 3-0'd them recently during the WC Ace finals, and obviously the wound was still fresh. Their winning streak continued in the grand finals as they dominated over their Chinese rivals, Team DK, by a score of 2-0. They took home a whopping 100,000 RMB. Team DK will take home 20,000 RMB, and Tong Fu in third place with 10,000 RMB. In Game 1, the performance from Hao on Dragon Knight was near perfection. After the Ricky Io pick against Tong Fu, IG showed versatility with their Tidehunter as their hard lane presence and Storm Spirit at the easy lane. With Dragon Knight in the middle lane, it looked grim since Mushi had a strong hero to play against Hao, Queen of Pain. However, with great patience and knowledge of his strengths, Invictus Gaming prevented the disaster. Things seemed okay for DK as they got first blood from an aggressive Invictus Gaming, but lost a tower in the process. They've also managed to kill the unsuspecting Burning as things began to get worse for DK. when they were caught off guard by IG, who soon grabbed the Aegis from Roshan. Any sign of hope was immediately gone as soon as IG won a 4-3 trade with the help of buybacks. Soon enough, the momentum built by that incident became DK's ruin as they were not able to get back to the game. This game certainly showed the community how important the mid-game is, considering both teams have chosen a mid-game oriented lineup. DK even offered their main carry as the hero Doom. IG punished the Doom pick so fiercely that Burning had to give up the hard lane. Upon seeing that, Enchantress and Shadow Demon immediately roamed towards the mid to secure the first blood with the help of the double Centaur. Despite of early deaths, DK remained concentrated on getting back into the game, but these failed ganks paid an extreme price as teamfight after teamfight, IG had broadened their lead. It is pretty impressive that DK was not able to stop Hao's Viper, who is really doing a great contribution which gave DK's melee carries a hard time. With IG's strike on their middle lane and Doom being picked up without dealing much damage, DK has been knocked out and handed IG the Red Bull ECL title. Game 5's points? When we take a panoramic view of the two games, DK didn't continue the good condition like before and got a sound beating. While IG was not frustrated by their unsuccessful counter-turn. A strong wish to win made them laugh the last laugh, but after 1 week, the two excellent teams will meet again in the field of G League.
So congrats once again to IG as they win a little over 16,000 and the championship. Also, major thanks to Red Bull for putting on such a great event. Nice to see them bring us into other games and get more involved in esports. And like mentioned at the end of the video, we do have G League coming up with the grand finals, sponsored by GameFi, coming up on the 13th with their Dota 2. It's going to be in Shanghai, China. And who else? IG versus DK. We also had Star Ladder news as they have recently concluded their online league play with top European teams. The top four had the usual suspects, Alliance, Na'Vi, and Fnatic. However, one team seemed to sneak in and surprise everybody. Sigma is in a three-way tie for the first place spot with Na'Vi and Alliance and a 13-4 record, 39 points. The event will be featuring the top four teams in an offline finals in Kiev on the 17th. For all information, head on over to starladder.tv and click on Dota 2. I can't wait. And with all that great Dota 2 recap, let's take a break, shall we? When we come back, we talk with Susie Kim for an NSL preview and take a look at the new Pro-Am League sponsored by ESP. Plus, a bonus interview later with Bruno from the Good Studio. This is the Daily News. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Daily News. While we took some time to check in on a few of the premier tournaments going on in the Dota 2 scene, there seems to be one country omitted that people often see in other esports, Korea. And that's because their Dota 2 scene has just begun with things like the Nexon Sponsorship League. Already in the third season, the NSL qualifiers have finished and seeded 8 teams into a bracket. Our Korean correspondent Susie Kim had closely dialed in on the action. Let's have a look.
Hi everyone, this is Susie Kim with ESGN TV. I am here at the Dota 2 qualifiers for the NSL, the Nexon Sponsorship League. Today with us, there are 9 different teams who are all competing for a spot into the tournament. And among them, we have our team, Team Zephyr, which I think is a fan favorite for all of you guys out there. I am very excited to see who's going to make it out of the qualifiers so that I could bring you more content on the Dota 2 scene. Hey guys, this is Susie Kim with ESGN TV. I am standing here with Team Zephyr, who has made it out of the qualifiers today for the NSL League. And I'm going to ask a couple of questions now. How did you feel coming into this qualifiers? Because you're here in Korea. I'm sure it's different from anything that you've done before.
I think we were really confident going into it, but still a little nervous because we really want to play in this league. And yeah, looking forward, we're just going to hope to win as much as we can.
Yeah, we said that if we lost, we were going to do some drastic things like change our career paths and, leave Korea and disappear forever. So we're really happy that we won.
And now I know also that some of you guys have just gotten into Korea like 2 days ago. So I'm just wondering, what do you expect for your time here? And are there anything you want to see or enjoy while you're here?
I'm a pretty boring person, so I'm probably just going to stay in all the time and do nothing. Like, I know when you're supposed to visit a foreign country, you're supposed to explore and see sights and stuff like that, but that doesn't interest me at all.
All right, well, thank you for that. At least you can enjoy the food here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you can get that part of our culture in here. About you guys?
I think it's a really good experience to come over here. Just to have this chance, I think I really want to, fully explore whatever I can, and I really want to learn what it's like here and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. And you?
I want to try dog once.
He wants to try dog once. I haven't even tried that yet.
You gotta just try it. I don't know. I have this feeling it's gonna be amazing.
Do you have a pet?
No.
Okay, so you don't own any dogs?
Nope.
Oh, thank God for that. Hi guys, this is Susie, and I'm here with another team that has made it out of the qualifiers. And so I'm not going to do any introductions, but I'm going to have the team introduce themselves. Hi, hello.
Hello.
Can you tell us a little bit about your team?
We are All-in team, and we are from Uzbekistan. It's my friends, and we met at our country, came to Korea for studying, and we're not pro players, but we play for fun, and we're really happy that we won a qualification. Yeah.
Okay, they've made qualifications this time around, but you had told me that this is your third time making qualifications, but you're not professionals. So where do you see your team going? How far do you think you'll make it this season?
Try to go as fast as we can. We're training not a lot because we have not a lot of time because of study, but we're trying, doing our best, and we hope that we will go further than other seasons in season 3.
And that concludes our time here at the qualifiers. 5 of the 9 teams here have made it through, along with the 3 already seeded teams. That gives us a total of 8 teams that we could be looking out for at the NSL. That's going to start on January 11th. That's this Saturday at the GOM TV studios. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned and tune in, watch a lot of Dota 2, and I will be there to provide you with more content as things progress along. So this has been Susie Kim for ESGN TV, and I will see you again.
Thank you so much, Susie. As she mentioned, Nexon sponsorship season 3 will begin very soon, January 11th. Round of 8, day 1 action begins at 1300 KST. Good luck, Team Zephyr. They are going to be facing off against All in Us, the second team that you saw being interviewed. Now, over in North America, there's also another new rising league, and we put that in quotation marks because MLG is not really new, but they have casted their lot into the Dota 2 scene with their big end-of-the-year event in Columbus in 2013. They even had their own compendium and workshop items, and from what I heard and saw, the event was phenomenal as Adam Apicella and team put on quite a show. A lucky few from ESGN TV got to attend the event. Let's have a look.
Is it the town that never sleeps? No, everything closes about 2 o'clock, which is good for us because we need our sleep. But when it comes to an atmosphere that's inviting for people to come watch a video game tournament, Columbus is a great city.
I started playing Dota 1 when there was absolutely nothing around for anything. And it was, everyone essentially played for pride. But, for my generation, we were doing that when we were 18. And now, like, friends that I used to play Dota with, like AUI 2000, I knew him when he was 16. And we were just playing for fun to get better so we could say, I'm better than you. And that's really what fueled the scene. But at some point, the scene grows up as a whole, and you have things like bills to pay, and you have a girlfriend that you have to take care of, and you have to take care of rent and stuff like that. It doesn't hit you when you're like 16, 17, and you're just playing for fun, but eventually money needs to come in somewhere, right? And so it's great that we're actually gaining financial support from a company like MLG.
So I started about 3 years ago in the esports scene as a cameraman for MLG as a contractor. Then I worked my way up as a production assistant and an assistant producer, and then a host. I was the first North American host for League of Legends, and then I hosted for StarCraft 2, and now I'm here hosting for Dota, so it's been quite a journey so far. But when I look back and see where we started and where we are now, the growth in North America for esports has exploded. And part of that explosion has been because of streaming, because of Twitch and other streaming platforms. MLG has their own platform now, and they've partnered with media groups such as Relativity Media to distribute and share what they have to offer to the world, and it's fantastic. The struggles and obstacles right now for the scene for North America is one, time. That's what it needs. It needs more time to grow, and it also needs good media development. What I mean by that is players with personalities, content that people want to watch, and in the right amount of time. Because even though the energy around the room and around the city may be in different sections for different things, for the different games, when it comes to the finals, everyone's in their seats and everyone wants to see a champion crowned. But it's also to entertain the audience by bringing out the personalities of the players, by creating scenarios that the audience remembers, laughs at, enjoys, thinks, oh wow, I didn't know that about that player, or oh wow, they look nervous, or oh my gosh, that was so funny. It's to create those moments. I love Dota 2.
Looked like a fun event. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in 2014 as MLG, they're currently in their quote-unquote off-season, but they have some other stuff going on like UMG Philly. They're going to do a recap show at 7:30 p.m. EST this Thursday. That's going to be happening right after the esports report. Check it all out at MajorLeagueGaming.com. So we got something new in Korea, something new in America, but what about Europe? Well, a couple days ago, the Electronic Sports Professionals League, a year-long Dota 2 tournament series based in Europe for amateurs and pro league, emerged. Every week, amateur teams will play for $100 and qualifier points. After a 3-month season, ESPL will invite 2 pro teams and 6 qualified amateur teams to fight for a $5,000 prize pool. That's right, from January to December 2014, if you are an aspiring team to break out into Dota 2, the answer is right here with ESPL, which will be covered by Join Dota, Dota Cinema, and Gozu Gamers. We got an opportunity to talk to John, the CEO and founder of it, and he had this to say. I feel that esports scene in Dota 2 heavily favors established teams, with very little support for the amateur teams. With this tournament, we hope to balance and foster the spirit of competition amongst the Dota 2 player base. Sign up, and for more information, visit esp.gg. So let's take 3. When we return, we talk to the Statsman and wrap up the day with the 5-day forecast. This is the Daily News. We'll be right back.
We will win every series, for sure.
Be prepared to see Hearthstone like you've never seen it before.
We do have some secret things planned, so you should watch out.
A 3rd episode of Fight Night is coming later this evening. Who's going to play between Strife Crow, Nyx, Artosis, and Crip? Some of your favorite personalities and players are coming up. You have to tune in to watch out. Before we went to the break, we mentioned we still have some news in Korea. We recently found out that StarTale is dismissing their coaches and disbanding their Dota 2 team. Also, Avenge, formerly from StarTale, is retiring, which is pretty sad news because all these players are extremely talented, and we wish the best of luck. We'll keep you updated about anything we hear. Earlier today, we were lucky to sit down and talk to a well-known Dota 2 personality. You may know him for his great knowledge in Dota and his snazzy suits. It's Bruno. Hey everybody, I'm joined by Statsman Bruno, the big commentator and statsman for Dota 2. Bruno, thanks for joining me.
No problem. How's it going?
It's going great. We're happy to start the new year, and I'm very thankful you take a few minutes to talk to us. For anybody who may not be familiar, though, can you please introduce yourself and a little bit about your history?
Sure. My name is Bruno. I'm 28 years old from Argentina. And I've always had some problem trying to explain what am I inside the Dota 2 scene because I tend to do a lot of things, but I found the perfect word right now. A couple of weeks ago, I read this word. It's called the deuteragonist. So you know how when you watch movies like The Shawshank Redemption, you have the main character, the protagonist, and then you have this second character that goes next to it, like Morgan Freeman's Red. Or if you watch Toy Story, you have Buzz Lightyear as a second character to Woody. And I think that's kind of what I do. Like, I'm always the guy that's next to some other guy, either commentator, hosting, doing stats or anything, and just trying to make the streams a little bit more fun.
As a person that's been involved for many years, since the mid-2000s, what's been some of the observation and comments that you've had in the development of the game and the esports scene?
You mean Dota in particular? Or
yeah, in Dota, because you've been involved since I think 2005.
Yeah. It's quite a while. I've been around. But yeah, I think the last few years, of course, it's like pre-Dota 2, it was a completely different history. But during Dota 2, and especially during last year, we saw something that I find really big, which is a very high growth of the casual player base. And when I say casual, I'm saying just like the guy that's not watching esports and just following the teams. Just they play the game because they like playing the game. It used to be that maybe 2 years ago, and even during Dota 1, because of the outdated graphics, or because of the like kind of user-friendly interface that Dota 2 had at the beginning, it was scary for new people. I have lots of friends, they don't play Dota. I invited them to play, and they're like, no, dude, this is too much, I'm overwhelmed. And this year, I think there were a couple of things. Mainly, it became more visible, the game, and also more readable from inside the game when you're new, when you get a new tutorial, when you play against bots and stuff like that, that made people lose the fear to play the game. And I think that's huge. And very, very related to this is also the fact that this is something that I always say as well, is Dota 2 is not a game, it's a service. That incidentally has a game in it, which you can play, but it's a service because you can always also watch tournaments, you can do some other stuff, like it has mini games in it, it has lots of features. And when you look at the game, you look at the game as a service first and a game second.
Is there a next step, or is everything still really good in your opinion and kind of let it grow organically?
Well, I mean, of course, there's TA4 to look forward. Also, if you follow StarCraft 2 or League of Legends, there's WCS and LCS. But what I look forward to the most, actually, is surprises, because we can kind of predict what's going to come. Like, yeah, we know that the Dota 2 scene will have MLG as a big player, DreamHack as a big player, ESL with the EMS Cup, of course, TI4, and all the other games will have something similar. But it's all about these surprises, the new players that we right now don't know about, but will come in 2014 and will try to make a difference. We'll try to just like walk the steps of everyone else, but something different as well. So that's something that I can't wait to find out what awaits to us. And of course, as our friend Toby Wan has said, 2014 is also the year of Join Dota. So looking forward to it.
Well, let's see if Toby Wan is right. Definitely some really powerful words. I like to throw in my lot and tell the workshop creators to start creating some Bruno fashion in some of the items in Dota 2, because I think that'd be really fun to watch some of the suits pop up on those heroes.
That would be fun. I'm not sure if it adheres to Valve's policy of dressing the heroes properly, but I'd like to see it anyways.
One can dream. One can dream, absolutely. Follow Bruno on Twitter at Statsman Bruno. Thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to see what you guys are going to push out in 2014.
Thank you for having me. See you later.
Speaking of 2014, you can catch Bruno on The Good Studio when they have partnered with DreamHack for some great content. We'll find out what happens shortly, but nothing's announced just yet. We'll keep you guys posted. And we figured since Bruno stopped by, and we kind of mentioned at the end of the interview that we think his suits are something to behold, why not take the opportunity to feature the art of Bruno? Let's take a peek at today's art spotlight. Woo! Bruno certainly dresses as good as he entertains. So with that said, before we send you off, let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Coming up tomorrow, we have the Awesome Games Done Quick 2014. It's still going on. It's been going on for several days now, where they're raising money to Prevent Cancer Foundation. And on the next day, on Friday, we also have OGN Winter semifinal number 2 between Samsung Ozen and Najin White Shield. Going on Saturday, we have EU Challenger League qualifying number 3. We want to remind people to sign up for it. And if you miss your opportunity on Sunday, there's also the wild card qualifier. Definitely get all your information at twitch.tv/WCS Europe. And finally, on Monday, we have the Go for StarCraft 2 with the first place. Get some kind of good money. And Go for StarCraft series has always been very good for ESL. So if you ever have an opportunity to play at an amateur level, you absolutely should check it out. But don't forget that we also will be live tomorrow night, same time, same place. That does it for the Daily News. Thank you so much for watching. From Dan Cho and the rest of the ESGN crew, have a good night. Fight Night comes up now.